survivors of that horrific plane crash in Russia are now in intensive care. Tonight, Pearson is in custody on charges of assault with a deadly weapon and brandishing a firearm. Republican presidential hopefuls are blaming the government for failing to jumpstart the struggling economy. Tomorrow, the bands will play on. Today, it was all about the shopping at places like Ralph's here. Parents in most states are paying more for child care than they would for a public university education. I grew up watching the Academy Awards and always wanting to go to those after parties after the awards. Well, tonight we have our own slice of that right here on East Palm Canyon and Cherokee Way. We're having a blast. Gary and I will be going to see that movie on a guys' night. Ladies not invited. As the world looks upon Europe's economy today, we get a glimpse of how ours is doing. Good Friday morning to all of you. Today's November 4th. I'm Todd Piro. And we always ask the question, okay, what is the market saying? How is the market responding? Right now, on this news, Dow futures are up. So the Dow clearly is happy with the fact that the rate has dropped from 9.1 to 9. That 80,000 number, which is the actual number versus the 100,000 that we expected, like Stella said, it's unclear what they think of that number, but clearly they're happy. Morning, former New Jersey governor and Goldman Sachs head John Corzine has resigned as CEO of MF Global. The embattled securities firm filed for bankruptcy on Monday. The company failed to protect millions of dollars in client investments, and the board confirmed this morning that Corzine will not seek severance payments in connection with his resignation. Meantime, back here at home, a man who killed a mother and 3 children while he was driving drunk will spend 25 years in jail. As part of a plea deal, Andreas Luna, pictured there, pleaded guilty to vehicular manslaughter, and the judge dropped 4 counts of murder. Luna killed thermal residents Auralia Cesares and her 4 children, all under the age of 8. A Southland mystery's come to an end. I know we are all very, very worried about this. Gumby has turned himself in. San Diego police say a man accused of trying to rob there he is, a convenience store last week dressed as Gumby surrendered yesterday. Police say Jacob Kiss, as opposed to Jadakiss, and a man accused of driving the getaway car voluntarily went to police headquarters. They brought in the Gumby costume and turned it in as well. The men were let go, but they may face possible charges. In order to get that bailout, basically what's happening is these banks are trying to show the world that they're not going to go bankrupt, and so they are making massive cuts. And as a result of these cuts, the people in Athens and in Greece are suffering. And as you can tell, they are rioting to protest that suffering. The reason that this all matters to everybody, one, obviously you never want a loss of human life, but 2, Greece's economy could affect the rest of the European Union and then in turn could affect us. So even though this is happening thousands of miles away, it has an effect here at home. It may be true, but those stories were much cleaner than what I had to do this time. I went out with mobile journalist Andy Benish to check out some of the Valley's dirtiest jobs. What's the worst assignment for a reporter who hates trash and bad smells? You're about to see it, starting first with a waste audit. All right, time to get ready. Well, now it is time to start playing in some trash. Welcome to my nightmare. Come on. But that nightmare was just beginning. You serious?
This is it. This is it.
Oh. Excuse me a moment. Still, Jennifer Salsiccioli at Vertex Edom Hill Transfer Station and I had a job to do. That job? See what trash should actually be recycled. It's slippery, too. They don't tell you that.
Yeah, it's pretty wet. Food waste is pretty wet. Oh. So there's some more metals and plastics that should be recycled.
Oh. That's not even that bad smelling. And I'm already off. Awesome.
Yeah, this isn't even rotten yet.
This had only been trash for a couple days. Imagine how bad it gets when really old trash bakes in the summer heat. It smells like a combination of orange juice and vomit. So what makes someone choose this as a job?
I just became curious as to what is in people's trash so that I can help them, as efficiently as I can. So to do that, you've got to look at their trash. Although only 20% of this pile is actually garbage, because it's already been mixed in with recyclables and food waste, it will all unfortunately end up crowding a landfill. Well, looks like my job here is done, which is actually good news, because I think I'm sinking. Yeah, I'm sinking. After all this fun, Jennifer had to convince the folks who made this mess to choose a more earth-friendly trash plan. All I had to do was take off my Village People costume.
it's not really the job I think for me in the future, but it was pretty cool doing it nonetheless. Really
Good.
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Oh.